Hey everyone, Miacidae here, welcome back to Darkest Dungeon. So, today on the No Hope Estate, we're going to be going back into the Cove to fight the Beguiling Siren. The reason for doing this rather than going to the courtyard where I had been wanting some trinkets, or to continuing leveling up some of their surrounding areas, is this trinket in particular, the Martyr's Seal. Now, a lot of people kind of scoff at this because you have to be at death's door. However, I want this for one reason, and one reason only. The Omen, which is a Sunward Isle boss that I'm coming up on rather soon, which I talked with Void recently about, and we actually fixed the Sunward Isle all-in-one bug or happenstance that was happening, and now you actually do have to be at death's door to actually do damage to it. So that means I'm going to need something like this to help me along so that I'm actually doing the damage race correctly, probably. So I actually get there. This is just going to help me a lot because, well, I actually need to be at death's door to damage the Omen, and that plus 60% damage and 14 crit while you're at death's door. And also, while I'm not really counting on that plus 12% death blow resistance, it might come in handy. So that's why we're going to the Cove today and, well, risking the chance against a boss, which past few times have not gone well. So the party today is Anemone, the shield breaker. She's going to have Pierce for armor piercing, Adder's Kiss for single target blight, Impale for blighting entire parties, and Serpent Sway for a block upping her speed. Her trinkets are going to be the Spectral Spear Tip. This is just a really good trinket for her. It ups her damage by a flat 2 damage. That means when I use Impale, every target hit by Impale gets just plus 2 damage hit against each one of them. It also ups her max HP by 1 for every single enemy she takes out for the entire quest. Not that that helps me too much because healing's a little hard in this estate, but it can help somewhat. Then we have the Ring of Kalimdor, which ups her damage by 35% against anything that's bladed, and everyone here can do some blading, so one way or another she's getting plus 35% damage, it just might not be on turn 1. Then on attack hit, we do a 2 for 3 blight, and that just works like the flat 2 damage against on everything. So if I'm doing a single target, that's 2 extra damage against a single target. If I'm doing an AoE, that's an extra 2 damage against everything with the AoE. Next up, Baliol, our Uncrowned. We're going to be using him just like we did last time because that worked really well. He has really low HP, so I wanted to up his dodge again. So we're using the bones to up his dodge. That gives him a flat 10 dodge, and then he gets a plus 10% dodge multiplier for a combo point, and he can get plus 4 combo points. That means with 4 combo points, he gets plus 40% dodge, meaning he can get plus like 12 to 15 dodge, I think it is, or plus 16 to 20 dodge, so he'll be a kind of a dodgy tank. And then every time he dodges, he gets a riposte. This also gives him plus 5 crit, so he crits more often, and we're going to be leading into his poison knife style, so we're going to have Zanzil's altered mixture. So we get plus 25% blight amount per combo point, and since we're keeping the combo points on for the bones, we're going to be blighting a lot. And then on range attack hit, we're going to blight every other enemy for a 2 for 3. So that's going to be a lot of blight going out just from him. Then we're going to be using either Everscrate or Fan of Knives as essentially the finisher for the fight, just dependent on what we need. Next up, Admiral, our Omen Seeker. We're going to have Undercut as one of our attacks. This lowers dodge and speed. Piercing Dagger, we're not using this for the bleed, we're using this for the minus protection. Windmill Chakram, bypassing stealth and de-stealthing things, also minusing accuracy, that's the more important part. And Expunge has 100% armor piercing. This can be used as a finisher. For her trinkets, we have the Inquisitor's Pocket Watch. Any attack she does a 2 for 2 blight. Then we have Maciek's Head. This is the better trinket of the two in my opinion. This gives her plus 35% debuff chance, and all of her attacks have a debuff other than Expunge. Then on attack hit, she will also debuff the target for minus 8 dodge while they are bladed, and pretty much anyone will be bladed after someone in my party attacks. Finally, Silent. We're going to be leaning into the Poisoner's tools once again, meaning a lot of blight from her. So we have the Blight Amulet on her. This ups the blight resistance by 20% and the blight amount by 33%. Then Poisoned Skull, plus 6 crit, plus 20% damage versus bladed, and on attack hit we will do a 1 for 3 blight. So not only will we probably be doing Corpse Explosion, just finishing things off a lot easier. But if we do, say like Piercing Wail, Neutralize, Glass Knife, or even Catalyst, we'll be doing extra damage with Blight. So with that being said, let's see if we can't get the Siren, or if it's going to end in another wipe. Taking like all the precautions I can, a few torches, a few skeleton keys, Ladonum. I'm going to want Amphitheater ribbons for everyone for minus stress. I don't think I want the Anathenum. Do I? We'll bring the Anathenums for a few people just because of the debuff chance, but I'm not going to bring... We'll bring the extras just for the extra blight chance as well, and then we'll be off. We'll just use this for... At this point, I do want all the extra chances I can get. You do have to remember these ribbons that I'm using are essentially the replacements for my district. So instead of having the Anathenum district, I get ribbons. And these are consumables, so I only have so many of them to use, and while I do get so many a week, I could also get 0 a week.
Under the blood moon, I lured my wide-eyed prey to the pier's edge. Before she could properly appreciate her position, I clamped on a manacle, chaining her to the leering idol. A small push was sufficient to send both into the icy waters. And when at length the tide receded, jewels of the most magnificent grandeur lay scattered upon the shore. I always wondered what became of the unfortunate little waif.
Well, we probably know where she is. I'm just gonna head straight to her. And I'm gonna get Unquiet Mind off of Baliol here. I just realized the minus scouting on everyone, or no scouting trinket might have been a mistake, but we'll see kind of what happens.
A handsome reward for a task.
Of course he's the first fight I do. And of course I'm surprised by him. We'll do Undercut as a start until I get more people into position. I will ambush to get the Omen Seeker out of 1.
Their formation is broken. Maintain the offensive.
Oh, that hurts. Move forward by 2. And then we're pretty much good. Oh! That bleed is gonna be bad. Tools of the trade. Straight for Catalyst.
A decisive pummeling.
Okay, we got it off. I want a Holy Water here, but I do also want to save it for the boss, so we're going to Poison Knife, Lighting. Got 15 Blade on it, around. And we're going to go straight for the Windmill Chakram, lowering accuracy.
The ground quakes.
Also lowering dodge because now blighted. Going to Noxious Fume, upping blight chance. And every time we use an action, we're going to be blighting. Woo! Bandage. Serpent's Way. Get that block. Yikes. Adderkiss for the blight. Just gotta make sure he doesn't transfer it. Lower accuracy, Windmill Chakram. Got the debuff off. Everscrape, what's that gonna do? Only 25, so Poison Knife again. There goes the blight.
Give them no quarter.
29. Ooh, dodge, but okay, it does. I always forget if he uses that, and then he misses if it transfers or not. Tools of the trade to transfer so I can Catalyst next turn. And then we're going to neutralize for crits received.
Precision and power.
He's bladed for 23. I only need a little more damage on him.
As life
but he goes down to blight. He goes down to blight.
Of emptiness reveal themselves. Success so clearly in view.
Was I really that low on torch?
Or is it merely a trick of the light?
I think he lowered the torch by that much. Taking the ruby, taking the trapezohedron. We do need to... I want to use a camp, but at the same time I want that for the boss. We're gonna use some food here. So Silent, Amani, and Baliol. We're gonna take the... do I really want this? Minus dodge, minus damage, with only a 110 base. It has uses. And then we'll take the crest over the extra anti-venom. Oh man, that sucked as a first fight. Torching up a bit. On the plus side, only a few rooms left until the boss. Curio. I'm not gonna go all the way up till the boss or the battle room, but I am gonna go up to the 2 curios here to see if I could get a heal, which I could not.
Gold, trinkets and baubles.
I'll just leave these for later. No, I'm not, because if I get food, that was the big thing. If I could get food out of them.
Are often low on supplies.
There's a battle. Hopefully this isn't as bad. Okay. Torch up. I'm gonna uncloak of shadows here, which is gonna up my dodge modifier. So we have a 63 dodge right now. Then I'm gonna poison knife onto the Stingray, blighting the other 2 maybe. They resisted. Impaling. Blighting. There we go. Tools of the trade. We're gonna Noxious Fume upping our blight rate and then potentially blighting the others. And then we're going to Windmill Chakram, lowering the accuracy of the Stingray.
Impressive.
7 blight on Stingray, 4 and then 4. Very nice dodge. Woo! There we go. So just Stingray left because these blights. But I can't really ever scrate it, so I'm gonna poison knife. There we go.
The onslaught. Destroy.
Chakram again.
All.
Pierce. And it goes down. Everything goes down.
Size has no intrinsic
So
merit.
corpse explosion for the funsies.
Inordinate exsanguination be considered a virtue.
And then we can use a little more
Remind
food.
yourself that overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer.
Taking the ruby. Take the crusts. Leave the rest. Really hoping we find something that gives me food. I'm gonna go down to the curio. I'll leave it for later. To the right. Hunger check. Torch up.
As the light gains purchase,
Leaving this.
spirits are lifted, and purpose is made clear.
Very nice scout. I can't even see the trap. I just know it's there. 80 disarm on Amani, so we'll take that. Torch. Leaving the Shambler. Screw that. Battle room, then 2 curios. Alright. Impale. So many dodges. Lowering the accuracy on... Let's go the Admiral. Cloak of Shadows. Poison knife onto the Occultist. Occultist has 7 blight. Gonna catalyst him. He goes down. I thought he would go down. He got cured. There goes that friend. Stun? Alright. We can live, we can live. Okay, that was gonna hurt if it hit. We're gonna poison knife the stinger in the back. Lovely. Got the riposte. These don't... Okay. At least it's not the stun, it's just the bleed, which we can do this with. By corpse explosion, we're not going to take anyone out, so I'm going to tools of the trade. And then we're going to piercing whale, lowering damage and crit on everything, so we don't take as much damage. Also blighting them. Let's do pierce. Let's take out the stinger just because it has that shocker. Poison knife onto Admiral just because he can cure the blight and bleed. 4 blight, so stinger goes down. Or not. Tools of trade. Let's do catalyst here. Taking stinger out. No, if I do expunge, no, that's not gonna do what I want. But I can do piercing dagger, hurting the piranha.
A singular strike.
And he's blighted for 6, so he goes down on next action. If the riposte doesn't take him out. So then we just have the occultist left, who I can do add or kiss on.
Forgiving.
Alright. Take the ruby.
This expedition at least promises success.
We'll take everything. I'm gonna take the torch up for now, take the comet shards, leave the rest. Gonna do something a little silly here, which might bite me in the butt. It's probably gonna bite me in the butt now. Okay. We're just gonna use the herbs on the silent, and we're gonna dip back. I was hoping one of those had food, and they don't. So I could do a better camp. But eat until we're full for the health.
A chance to steel oneself against the coming horrors.
Poisoned brew for the plus damage on Baliol. Detect traps to prevent nighttime ambush. Plus accuracy for the plus damage on the silent. How many do I have left? 3. So I can... We're going to do footwork for the plus dodge, alchemize for a potion that is plus damage. That damage is going to go for a money, and we'll do that in the actual battle itself. Hopefully I don't spawn an extra battle in here. It doesn't look like it. Grabbing the torch, which we'll use like right away.
The light, the promise of safety.
Food to Amani because she's lower on health. Amani gets this, and hopefully that doesn't bite me in the butt. That's plus accuracy, plus damage. Holy waters on everyone. Because she can do like bleeds, I believe.
The aquatic devils.
I do love this background.
Girl in their image. She is their queen.
Oh boy.
And their slave.
Alright, let's see here. I'm going to lower her dodge and speed first. Silent. Oh boy. Well, we're still gonna go with this.
A brilliant confluence of
Poison knife.
and purpose.
Get my poison daggers going. Wish. she didn't go first. Or she had gone first, but that is what it is. At least we dodged it. And I didn't riposte her, which is good. We resisted the bleed. We got the riposte there. We're gonna just keep lowering her dodge, I think. So I have a better chance at hitting. Poison knife. Cat's yelling at me 1 minute. Alright, let's see how much we can get her down. Let's do Pierce because, well, it's going to do damage and get us in the front row. Blighting her. Bladed for 13. She's going to summon someone. I'm going to totally ignore the Piranha even though it does damage to us. At this point, I wish backflip would do or count as an action. Oh, it did hit with neutralize, and then it did blight us. Well, we got her back. We are gonna continue. And we're gonna lower her accuracy this time around. Maybe she doesn't hit with high tide. Lowering the, or getting rid of the anti-venom. Sorry, mine's a little fuzzy. Cat was actually yelling at me to go take care of a medical problem that she yells at me to go take care of when that happens, and head gets fuzzy when that happens, so. She has 106 health. Bladed for 8, so that brings her down to 98. And she usually targets the person with the lowest debuff. I do not want her taking Baliol, so we're going to Holy Water. And then we'll use Poison Knife so we can get more dodge. It also blights the Piranha. Add her Kiss, adding Blight to her. Bladed for 20. Now that's not the worst thing in the world, especially if she's in mid-rows. Tools of the trade. We're going to Catalyst onto the Siren. Bladed for 30. She goes down next action. I believe. Oh, definitely now, yeah. 28. So we... What I would love to do is Everscrate her, but... I really don't want to put Amani in a bad spot. I guess Poison Knife for now. And then Corpse Explosion. Explode the Siren. Bits go everywhere. You're the most tranquil dream until the Siren exploded. Alright, Anti-Venom. Take the Immortal's Crust. Even though I can't really use it, it can be sold. I'll take the Blueprint. That's awesome. We'll take the Bandages. I don't have food to keep exploring, so I'm not going to go anywhere else. And then we'll take the hair of the Sea Dog. Now, what this is good for those of you who don't know, it says a timeless cure for the oldest sickness. I believe it was Koala's creature collection that added a new disease that I've been avoiding like the plague, which is called the Pelagic Plague, the Pelagic Embrace. It has some really good synergies with some classes. Others, the act-outs are not the greatest, and the reason I've been avoiding it is actually not because it's bad. The act-outs actually are kind of good sometimes. But some of the act-outs can heal, Like, the one I'm thinking of the most is on the Plague Doctor. But, the side effects of the pelagic plague that I remember are it lowers your health significantly, kind of like the Crimson Curse, but you don't need to like feed it or anything, but your damage spikes significantly, like by 20, 25, 30%, something like that. So it's really good. I really like it, but this is the cure for it until you beat the boss that I just did. After beating the Beguiling Siren, now I can cure it in the Sanitarium. Up until then, you needed these things to cure it. And they still can be used to cure it for essentially free, and they can be held kind of like the cure for the Crimson Curse in your hamlet to just take out, which is nice. So, that being said, we got the Martyr Seal. This is really, really good. I'm going to want this for the Omibozu. I got 15,000 gold. This essentially pays for the... or more than 15,000. This essentially pays for the training I got on the Omen Seeker, because the Omen Seeker needed level 5 gear and level 5 skills. And that was really expensive. It was 6,000 just for her gear. So that puts the collected treasure pretty much nil. And then the skills I trained, which were like 1,500 apiece, 1,350, something like that. So realistically, this quest paid for my training on the Omen Seeker. I also got 46 crests, and another blueprint. Everyone who wasn't hit level 6, Hard Noggin, which I'm going to be locking in if I can on Baliol because stun resistance. Musical on Esmeralda, Sunward Explorer on the Silent misses the spots, which I'll be getting rid of, and Compulsive, which I really need to get rid of on Amani.
I was lord of this place.
And here's some stuff for the Pelagic Plague. Plus 10 accuracy if has Pelagic Plague or Embrace on next quest, minus 15% stress on next quest. I would love that if it was a thing. I'm going to get rid of Misses the Spot, like I said. I'm getting rid of Compulsive. Malicious also is actually pretty good, especially with her crit rate. She has a 10% base crit rate along with Malicious upping that before going into other damages, so that's not bad. And then locking in Hard Noggin, because stun resistance. Jean needed to get rabies off. I did want to throw Lilia into Sanitarium, but that's not going to be a thing with how things are, so I'm going to throw her into the Cloister for now. Nothing at the Nomad Wagon, but there are things I want to sell here quickly. The request for aid wasn't working as intended, so I'm going to sell this just for a little extra gold. The Occultist Staff, just because it's extra gold. I'm never going to use these tough bandages. I avoid the Snecko Skull because the random attack chance. And there is a use for the Paper Crane, so I'll keep that. I no longer really have an ante. So the... I might have like a rank 1. I do have a rank 1, so I'll keep those. I really do not like the riposte on the half-foot, so I'm going to sell the Boiled Mimic Shell, getting a little bit of gold for that. Can't use the Immortal Crest, so that does give me a little bit of extra gold where I was hurting a little bit. And then if I want to fight the crew, which I do, I need to level up the Cove now. That being said, is there anything here that is very, very much of a, I want to go get this? Not really. So with that being said, I think the next episode is once again going to be going out and leveling areas. Whether that's going to be into the Sunward Isles, because I do have a lot of work there so I can get to the Omibozu and things like that, or if it's going to be the Cove and the Warrens, I'm not entirely sure yet. But it'll be one of these three, just because they're the 3 areas I have to level up. I'm not entirely sure about the farmstead. I'll leave that until I know I've beaten the farmstead Miller, and then we'll go from there. So probably leveling up the Cove or the Isles next time because I don't need to do a long in the Warrens. I can level that up with a short. So I'll probably just be going where I think the Trinket is the best. Honestly, none of the Trinkets are the best. So I'll probably just be leveling up the Sunward Isles just to get this leveled up. Just because the Omibozu requires a level 6 area, and we can go from there, and just see what we can do. So that will be it for this time. Like, comment, subscribe, all that YouTube jazz, and otherwise, as always, I wish you all well. I will see you next time, and please, have a good one.